taking Marble Falls water and wastewater service south of the river. Back in 1983, my friend John Kemper owned property south of the bridge in Marble Falls, and he needed city water and wastewater service extended across the river to his property. John worked with the city of Marble Falls, and rather than install something that would only serve his property, they decided to make the lines large enough to provide utility service for much of the larger area south of the river. An engineering firm out of Austin came up with what, at the time, was a pretty unusual plan. They designed an 8-inch water and a 6-inch wastewater pressure line that would cross underneath Lake Marble Falls. The original idea was to snake the lines across the lake and let them lie on the bottom. Large concrete weights would be strapped to the pipe to keep it in place, and the pipe itself was something fairly new to us. It was a very durable HDPE, high-density polyethylene pipe manufactured in Canada. At that time, this type of pipe was being used for natural gas lines, but using it for water and wastewater in an application like this was something pretty unusual. I was given the opportunity to bid on the project, and Lewis Contractors was a successful bidder. So we got everything together and went to work. Then the plan got easier. Once the project was underway, John Kemper managed to accomplish something that made our job considerably easier. We drained Lake Marble Falls. Now, I'm sure there may have been a few free cups of coffee involved in getting that deal done. But whatever it took, having the lake down changed the whole project. Instead of trying to place these lines across the bottom of the lake underwater, we could actually get down into the riverbed. Just upstream from the bridge was a large deposit of sand. With the water gone, we were able to trench through that material and bury the water and wastewater lines beneath the riverbed. Getting the pipe across. The construction method was interesting in itself. We laid the HDPE pipe out on the old Mathis factory slab, which was still there after the building had been torn down. That's where we fused the individual sections of pipe together into one long length. Then we took a D8 Caterpillar dozer that was equipped with a winch down into the riverbed. We ran cables from the dozer back up to the end of the pipe and started pulling. That old D8 pulled the first long line off the slab and across the riverbed. Once we had that one line across, we went back and did the same thing with the second line. As soon as each line was all the way in position, we attached large concrete anchor blocks that we had made to hold each pipe securely in place. It was quite the operation. Something we didn't expect to find. With Lake Marble Falls drained, we had an opportunity that very few people get. We could walk around and explore the falls and the riverbed up and down that entire stretch of Colorado River, and we found something that really surprised me. Along the top of the falls were large pieces of reinforcing steel that had been drilled into the solid rock. Some of those pieces of rebar extended upward 3 or 4 feet. Apparently, many years earlier, a concrete dam had been built across there. My assumption was that it had been something to do with raising the pool level to provide water for the old mill that once operated below the falls. The dam was long gone, but those steel bars weren't. And looking at them, I couldn't help thinking about what could happen after the lake was filled back up. If someone jumped or dove from a boat in the wrong place, there was at least the possibility of coming down on one of those steel bars. Whether the water would actually have been shallow enough for that to happen, I don't know. But I knew one thing: I didn't see any reason to leave them there and to find out. So we took a bulldozer and went along the falls, bending those pieces of rebar over, and in many cases were able to break them off completely. Did we ask permission? No. I knew what could happen once you started talking to different government agencies. There would be meetings, telephone calls, letters, permits, and probably somebody trying to decide whose rebar it was. So we just did it. Nobody ever complained. But for sure, nobody would ever get impaled on one of those pieces of steel either. Those two lines provided water and wastewater service south of the river for several years. Eventually, though, a major flood came through and took them out. Other methods were later used to carry the utilities across the river, and I believe today those services are probably incorporated into or suspended from the newer bridge. Interestingly, TxDOT wouldn't allow us to hang those lines from the old bridge back in 1983. I always found that a little unsettling. If hanging a couple of utility pipes from that bridge was enough to concern TxDOT, it didn't exactly give me warm feelings about the integrity of the bridge we were all driving across daily. But our system worked, and it served until Mother Nature eventually decided otherwise.